subscribe. Hello friends, I'm Sani. Friends, today we've arrived in Santo Domingo. We took a tour and it's a bit of a long trip. It was almost 34 hours, but the good thing is that we're here. The day is sunny. In Punta Cana, it was raining since last night, but here the sun has come out nicely. And our first stop is a lighthouse that's quite well known, very famous here, and it's huge. We'll show it to you in a moment. Look at this huge structure. This is the lighthouse. It's really big. There's our group. There are also country names listed there. Look, music. We already entered the lighthouse, friends, and it's my first time seeing one so huge. And there are many things. Look at the structures, friends. This chest contains the remains of Christopher Columbus. Most of his remains are here, but his head is not. It's in Seville, in Spain.
Also called the Columbus Lighthouse, it's among Santo Domingo's most impressive monuments. It was built to commemorate the 500th anniversary of Christopher Columbus's arrival and stands out for its enormous cross-shaped structure. At night, it projects a light that illuminates the sky and can be seen from several kilometers away. Inside, it serves as a museum and mausoleum, and it has many rooms dedicated to different countries, historical exhibits, and cultural and religious objects. We were surprised to find that this place had a little bit of the culture of each of us, both from Peru and from India. My husband was very moved to see his flag there, to see the Taj Mahal, and of course I was also excited to see my flag. And there were many objects that belonged to my culture. We really loved learning something new in this place. Honestly, it's a place full of history that's worth visiting. We've arrived at the Presidential Palace. That's what I call it, right? And the guide tells us that it's the most beautiful one on the whole continent, in all the Americas. We haven't visited all of Latin America, but of the countries we've seen, honestly, yes.
It's beautiful.
It's very
Beautiful. There is the sculpture. Very, very beautiful. Yes, very pretty. Yes.
I would even put it at number 1, really. Yes, it's good.
Friends, now we've come to the Malecón here in Santo Domingo. And here I see where the river meets the sea. Ruth wanted a little choco piña ice cream. Choco piña?
Pineapple, no pine. Oh,
Okay, fine. It has peanuts.
it's okay? He said what flavor it was? I asked him, sir, what flavor is it? This one, this one, this one, this one. He told me, let me see.
Spicy? Yes.
Spicy, kid, it's vanilla. I wanted a flavor like a capo. Yeah, but no. Delicious. For example, my sword comes from Luzma. There must be something here too, I just don't know. There's still a lot left to explore. From here, we're going to have lunch, and I hope this time I can try something typical from here, since we're staying at an all-inclusive hotel. I'm not sure, it's just that some dishes don't even have a name. So, there's not much? And I've heard and seen a lot of comments too that Punta Cana doesn't really represent Dominican culture much, right? Here in Santo Domingo, yes, I think we're going to find typical food from here. I hope so, and try some local food, right? Well, I also would have liked to, because people were mentioning it to me in messages. Like to do something, I don't know, to meet our followers from here. But unfortunately, since our schedule is packed with tours, and this one is also part of a tour, because, well, yes, transportation tends to be a bit expensive, especially if it's from Punta Cana to Santo Domingo. We definitely need to choose a tour, which makes it complicated. But, well, I really appreciate the affection from the people who are sending us messages and everything, you know. They're really lovely, honestly. Thank you for your support. Many of you have said you followed us for a long time, even from the Dominican Republic, though you don't comment much. From here, from places from here, from this beautiful country. And well, maybe next time if God allows us to come back.
I think we're going to have lunch here, friends, at Bugaro. And we've already gotten our food. It's a buffet. And something strange, I think it's plantain with onion. This seems very strange to me. You too? Or have you eaten it, Dad? I mean, plantain with onion.
Never, but I tried it and it tastes good, like something from the jungle.
Ah, it's good now. Now we're going to eat well because later we have to walk more, friends. We already had a good lunch. Now we are touring the colonial zone of Santo Domingo, and there are things like this, quite old. Just recently we saw the university, the first university, and our guide also told us that there's also the first hospital in America, and this is the first fortress. America, friends, it was founded in 1502. Well, it's pretty big, and there's also a ship in front. And that house over there. Now we've come to the market, friends, to do some shopping.
The Larimar. Larimar, look, it's a beautiful stone. What a bath does for the wife. The wife can give it another use. You understand? Larimar, look at how the blue amber looks. See how it changes color? Look, folks, over here.
Cigars.
What do you see?
Now for the shopping. I bought myself a little ring. Now we're here at the cathedral. We're standing in line to get this audio guide so we can learn about the history. Let's go. Let's go.
It is said that this is the first cathedral in the Americas. Located in the heart of Santo Domingo, its architecture mixes Gothic and Renaissance styles, and that's what makes it unique and very important. It's one of the most iconic places in the city and a must-see if you visit Santo Domingo.
Friends, now we've come to the Los Tres Ojos Natural Monument. I think there are 3 cenotes we're going to see. There he is, already buying the tickets. How was your experience at the church?
The church, yes, it's the first time they've made me cover up to enter a church. Normally, I've only experienced this in India, where they do make you cover up in temples. If you're wearing a short sleeved shirt, right? In the temples too, yes.
Yes.
You have to cover your head, but never in a Catholic church, but this is the first time?
This cathedral is the first in the Americas. That's why I think
Yes.
it's very sacred. Pope John Paul II also came here as well. The church entrance is this way.
The Cave of the Three Eyes left us super impressed. It's famous for its crystal clear lagoons inside underground caverns. Its name comes from 3 main lakes that look like eyes, surrounded by nature and unique rock formations. We definitely loved it. It's a magical place.
Friends, we've already swum in the sea and now we're taking a shower to get rid of the sand and salt water. Now we're finally going to have lunch because we're also getting ready for our pink party. Let's see how it goes. And we still have half an hour, so we'll eat calmly. Then we have to go to the lobby so they can take us somewhere else because the pink party isn't going to be here. White party, which was the day before yesterday, I think, right? Yes, that one. Yes, Wednesday, that one was right here. But pink party is held somewhere else. We've already had lunch, now we're in line. Look at all the people going to pink party. There they are. Yes, all the way to the back, to another lobby. And they're being transported in those buses. Those are also hotel buses that take people to the place where the party is. We made it, guys, to the place where the pink party is going to be. They're playing music, but I don't think the shows have started yet. Here, they're also doing makeup. Let's see if they'll put something on us. The hotel had a setup here too, but it was full. Yeah, the line was really long too. They also put a mirror here so you can take pictures, and here as well. Friends, after enjoying the pink party for a bit, now we're heading back to our hotel because later we have to go to Coco Bongo. And like teenagers, like kids going from one party to another, that's how it is. It's good, but just for a few days because after that it's back to reality. Yeah, so now let's go. The same buses that picked us up are now taking people back to the hotel. Friends, we've arrived at Coco Bongo in Punta Cana. They're already going in. There's a Spider-Man, and what's the green one's name? Green Goblin. Green Goblins? Yeah. They're also here so you can take pictures with them. The entrance is at 8 and the line is already moving. And we went into the...
Friends, it's a new day. We're exhausted. We got up at 9 in the morning. Well, 9:30, I think. We went to eat something light, just some fruit. Only I had breakfast because the night before was crazy.
Yes.
Coco Bongo, is it really worth it? I mean, is it worth what they charge you? Because in this case, how much did we pay? I think we already gave you the information. I don't know if it was in this or another video, but yes, go, because it's a mix of... To me, it felt like a circus, you know, one of those really big ones that travel all over the world, a mix between a circus and a nightclub. I mean, it's nice, it's really cool, and well, highly recommended.
We already checked out because today our flight is at 6:30, but after checking out, you can still stay at the hotel. You can enjoy the pools, beaches, food, everything, so this really is a benefit. If your flight leaves in the afternoon, you can come swim, enjoy the facilities, the bars, everything, so that's a good thing.
Yes, it's definitely also worth staying at an all-inclusive, at least in a country where, well, or in that area, right, where several things are expensive.
Yes, it's worth it. It's worth it.
It's worth it because you can have whatever you want at any time. You can eat whenever you want.
There are parties, there are events.
Exactly, there are events and parties. You have access to the beach, many pools, a water park, and a nightclub if you want to dance every night. Some people actually do that.
Yes, friends, yes. Doing our calculations about how much would it be more or less, I think you would spend about the same as you do at an event.
No, actually, you'd spend more on your own.
I think so. And there would be inconveniences too. Yes, because if you look for an Airbnb, first you'll have to cook. Well, if you want to, that is. If not, another option would be to eat out. Of course, and that's also true. I was talking to Ruth the other day, that if you go to a restaurant and you don't like the food here, you've already paid for it, but I didn't get to that point. But here at the buffet, there are many options. For example, we don't really like this Italian food. We don't like Italian food. You can go to the buffet. There's another option.
Actually, that's what we did. We ate at the Italian restaurant. We didn't really like the taste, maybe because they're not Italian. Well, no. Of course. So we didn't really like the taste. We said, okay, let's go to the other restaurant.
And we left, right? That's the benefit, of course.
That's the good thing. And if there's nothing you like, there's junk food in quotes, which is what everyone eats all over the world. Hamburgers, French fries, steak, rice, salad, right?
Yes. Or at buffets, I found there's more variety. Tasty food too, because if you don't like something, you just leave it. And drinks too. I was also talking to Ruth a little while ago about how if you go to a party, you have to order, right? Drinks and cocktails can get expensive sometimes, much more expensive, but here they're unlimited.
Of course, imagine having 5 cocktails, it gets expensive.
And each one is $10.
Imagine, of course, it gets expensive. That's 5, which is $50, $100 for 2 people with 5 cocktails, just like that.
Yes.
All that. At Coco Bongo, it was the same. I mean, you pay and everything is included. They give you a snack. The snack they gave us was a hamburger with French fries.
It was tasty.
And the drinks are unlimited. Yes, you can go ask for them whenever you want.
After 5 drinks, I was already done. Like, yeah, but the experience is totally worth it.
And it picks you up, right?
Yeah, that too. So I think for transportation too, for the transfer part, yes. Hotel, if you book like I told you on their website, then they give you free transportation. Because taxis are expensive, of course. Let's imagine it's $25 one way, so round trip, that's already $50. Doing the math like that, we saw that on our own, we would spend much more.
Friends, we're already home after a beautiful trip to the Dominican Republic. And you had been asking us for prices, information about how much you would need in case you want to take a similar trip with your partners, right? Or maybe with your family. Yeah, we're going to give you the information that we have.
So without further ado, we're going to give you the details of our trip. The total for both of us was $2,818. That's everything, including everything, flights, lodging, and everything we did, the tours and all, right? The diving activity too. I mean...
Everything you saw. Yes, everything you saw. Everything you saw in the previous videos, plus this last video, right? Everything, absolutely everything, $2,818.
Let's start with the flights. The flights cost us, round trip, $638. Because I had miles from my BCP credit card, so I get miles to use every time. And since I had a lot of miles, I used them, and that's the amount I paid. That can vary. If you're booking without miles, the price can vary, but if you do have miles, that's even better because they'll help, right? To save a little, but if not, what I've seen without miles, I think it's about 2,800 souls. I mean, 1,000 souls for the trip there and 1,000 souls for the return per person.
The second thing, friends, would be the Rio Hotel, all-inclusive. Remember that we stayed at the Rio Republica, which is adults only, and, well, it was 5 nights. 5 nights, 6 days, all-inclusive, it was $1,400. Now, a quick recommendation for this, because, well, we've already been talking with Sony. I think we also mentioned it in a video. If you want to book this RIU or any other RIU, do it directly from their website or app. They have one too, right? Because if you book it with an agent, it will cost you a little more, but if you book it directly with RIU, it will cost you less. I read comments from people who asked where I stayed and said, I stayed there too, but I booked through an agency. They paid about $200 to $300 more than we did, and it also varies depending on the season you go.
Also a lot. That depends a lot, friends, because if you go during the low season, it can cost less. But the downside is that there's rain and bad weather, and there's a lot of seaweed on the beach too, so you can't enjoy it much. It's better to go during a season when the day is really sunny, there's not much surf, and there's no rain. That's when you really enjoy it. Otherwise, you'll just be stuck at your accommodation because if there's a storm, you won't be able to go out or do tours. So it's better to visit during a good season, right?
And what's the best season to go? We went during the last month of the good season, so to speak, and I think it's from December to April.
Right? Yes, from December to April is the good season. I think now, by May, there will already be sargassum and everything.
Yes, I'm already seeing videos.
Now let's talk about the tours. The tours are definitely important. Because you're not just going to stay in a hotel, you'll want to go out and enjoy a bit more of the scenery and other places. For islands, sauna. There are several tours, but the tour we took was the classic one, and that cost us $60 per person. That includes transportation from your hotel. They take you by catamaran.
Catamaran?
Catamaran. It's always a catamaran. They take you to a natural pool. Like you saw in the video, right? Then to Sayona Island, they also give you lunch there. So that's all included. And yes, we definitely recommend it, right?
Yes, it's very nice. There are people who, well, it's worth mentioning that some people never leave the hotel, but it would be good for them to get to know something about the country, right? If you have the chance, do it, even if it's just a tour. And still, it's highly recommended. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You have to do it.
Yes, we'd come back. I wouldn't leave the hotel since I know the area and there's plenty to do at the hotel.
That's right. Honestly, before we wrap up Sauna Island, friends, one recommendation is that there are always people taking photos on the catamaran and it's not free. You'll want to take a picture of someone with your phone, but they'll remind you that's their job, even if they say it politely. They took our picture, and since we knew there was a cost, the price wasn't a surprise.
I think they told us 190.
$190, $190. It's like a photo session they do for you on the catamaran, on the beach, in the natural pools, and on Sauna Island. Yes, the photos turn out beautiful, that's for sure. Yes, they turn out very pretty, really, really beautiful, but it's $180 and, well, everyone knows their own budget, so it depends on you. You can bargain?
Bargain, yes. As a good Indian, I had to bargain, also because the price seemed too high to me. And yes, in tourist places, it's understandable that prices are high, right? And the next day, the activity we did was diving. Yes, it was always my dream to go diving with my wife because I really love adventure. And this also included transportation because there was also a package without transportation. So with transportation and everything, it cost us $175 per person. There were dives. There were 2 dives at 2 different spots and we really enjoyed it a lot. I told Ruth that there will be a before and after. Did you feel it or not?
Yes, I would do it again. It's a very beautiful experience. I liked it a lot. And well, this tour is supposed to last all day, but it lasted until about 1 in the afternoon for us. And in about 40 minutes to an hour, you're back at your hotel and you have the whole buffet to eat, so you don't spend anything extra. The next thing we did was go to Coco Bongo. As you saw, it was the only party we paid for because the other parties you saw, like the white party, the pink party, the nightclubs, everything else was included with the hotel stay, right? Yes, that's already included in what you pay for the hotel, so Coco Bongo is separate. Inside the hotel, you can find stands where you can buy your tickets right there. Or you can buy them through external agencies, but I would recommend buying them directly inside the hotel. Yes, it's safer.
Now, since Ruth mentioned Coco Bongo, I'll add that at the Rio Republica Hotel, I'm not sure about others, there are scuba diving booths with their own equipment. The good thing with them is that they let you practice breathing in the pool, so it's not so overwhelming for someone. Because doing it in the sea or in the pool is a totally different thing. So that's what they told me. Well, that's what it said, right? On their little sign, it said it was free. I mean, the introductory session where they teach you how to breathe and explain everything was free. So if you stay in Republica, you can ask about that diving activity there if you want to do it.
I think so. It would be recommended because obviously the pool is calm. Plus, I don't know, it gives you more confidence, right? Yes, exactly. I saw a comment from a subscriber who said, "But didn't you practice in a pool?" No, I went straight to the sea. And yes, of course it gave me a scare. I mean, a big one. Yes, at first, but I did it, I made it, and well, I'm very happy, right? Yes, so I was at Coco Bongo. Coco Bongo is... There are different rates and we'll provide them to you. Obviously the one we paid, but from what I know, it's between $70 and $180 depending on the day. We went on a Friday and it also varies depending on whether you want transportation or not. And that included a snack, which could be a hamburger with fries or a hot dog with fries, and unlimited alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks.
Yes.
Well, regarding Coco Bongo, I can tell you that the show is totally worth it. Oh,
Yes.
wow. And another recommendation also depends on the price. If you're choosing between the regular area, which is where we were, and the VIP area, I don't recommend the VIP area because it's literally just for sitting.
Yes.
It's for seating. Maybe if you're older and you just want to enjoy the show without dancing, maybe yes.
If you want to dance.
If you're young and like to dance, just go straight to the regular area.
Yeah, it's closer and sometimes the artists interact with you because they also gave us that little mask with the drink. Yeah, so there is more energy, right? So if you're young, like Ruth said, and you want to really enjoy yourself dancing and everything, then yeah.
It's better. In the regular area?
Yeah, and finally, the tour we did was the Santo Domingo tour. We couldn't miss this because there's a lot of culture and everything you saw in the video, and that cost us $60 per person. That also includes lunch, as well as the tour and a guide too, who tells you the history of all the places. And yes, that's the last tour we did. And yes, we visited several places, but it was a bit like running. Yes.
Here we want to give you a recommendation that we were discussing with Sony. I think it would be better to first arrive in Santo Domingo, get to know the city for yourself, because there are places we couldn't visit because I didn't have time. We'll go over there. I don't know, we couldn't even take pictures, we couldn't even make videos, so it was like, are the tours always like this? Many times. But no, I didn't really like the tour. The city and everything was beautiful, and I would have liked to get to know it more, more, right? But we just couldn't because of the way things were, and I don't blame the guide or anything. It's just that we were in Punta Cana, and Santo Domingo was far away, and I didn't.
It's almost an hour and a half away.
Nearly, of course, and he had to get them there on time, so he had to rush. So no, I wouldn't recommend it. First, arrive in Santo Domingo, do your tour calmly, get to know the place by looking up reviews online, maybe on TikTok too, because people search a lot there now. Discover great spots to visit in Santo Domingo. Take your time touring and seek out places with delicious food. I would have loved that. I'm sure there are such places in Santo Domingo. Eat traditional food because in Punta Cana, at least in the all-inclusives, there isn't any. Eat something delicious from there. I would have loved to try some street food too. We couldn't do it because we kept running. Yes, so do it calmly in Santo Domingo and then go to Punta Cana, because from Punta Cana to Saona, well, it's right there. It's super close. So would I recommend that? Well, in total, everything we've mentioned, everything we've done as a couple and all, everything you already know, it came out to a total of $2,818. Personally, well, I don't think it's a really low price, but it's not extremely expensive either, right?
But do you notice? Half of this amount goes just to the hotel, and it's worth it. For me, yes, every cent paid is worth it because of what you get. I think things would cost a lot more, and that's what I think because we were doing the math. Everything we did at that hotel, everything we took advantage of,
Everything we consumed?
what we consumed, I think it would cost a lot more. And above all, the comfort, the atmosphere, and all the service, everything is top notch, so we loved it. But if you have a slightly lower budget, you can look for another hotel. Or also, like Ruth said, you can arrive in Santo Domingo, stay there, and then spend 2 or 3 nights in Punta Cana, all inclusive, right?
And if you don't have it, of course, if your budget is lower but you still want to go, you can choose an Airbnb. Yes, but there are some drawbacks, friends, because you'll still have to pay for taxis and food. Another recommendation that I didn't mention, bring medicine from your country. For headaches, for those little packets of Andrew's salts, for hangovers. For indigestion, that's what I mean, right? That's what I mean, because there you're going to eat well and a lot. Yes, and well, we hope to come back sometime because I would love to return.
Yes.
Especially to really get to know Santo Domingo and to go to Samana, which we still haven't gotten to, right? Yes, because they said it was a beautiful place.
We enjoyed it a lot. Everything turned out great.
And well, friends, now you have the budget. Hopefully you'll be encouraged to visit and get to know this beautiful country. It will definitely steal your heart. So that's all for today's video. Take care.
Bye.